sotto il sole ad ondeggiare, le finestre e i tetti rossi si rispecchiano nel mare. Giù dal vecchio campanile un sospiro viene e va, c'è lo sguardo della donna che protegge la città. Santa...
Dobar dan svima. Hello, everybody. I'm honored. I'm really honored to be here with you. Thank you, Max. Thank you. Thank you, organization team. You're doing a great job. So, what is today's title? A Power of Storytelling. Did you hear before? We are not only storytelling, we are story doing also. So let's, once upon a time, hear the story. Sound?
History, stories and secrets of the medieval town.
Casanova tour, Varsar. Casanova visited Varsar twice. Walk with him through history of Varsar and his love stories.
Crispo, archaeological site, Vizula. Discover the tragic intrigues of the Roman royal family.
Malinfest, Medulin. Unique fusion of tradition and entertainment in front of the windmill in Medulin.
Vodnjan Tales. Discover the small towns of Vodnjan, Galižana and Peroj through their stories, tradition and customs. Rabat's Open Air. Underground experience with the coalman from Labin and playful Maliki.
Poreču Open Air Festival, the island of Sveti Nikola. Treasure hunt through myths and legends of Istria.
Experience the old town of Pičan and the miracles of Saint Nicephor.
Kupelvizer on Briuni. Feel and experience the unique Paul Kupelvizer's vision that became a reality.
Innovative, creative,
Authentic and unique. 8 years,
7 awards.
over 700 performances. Istra in spirit.
That's my life in last 10 years. When you see this film, it's very easy to say, yeah, let's tell the story, let's do the story. But it was really, really hard and intense job to tell the stories of Istria. Yeah, that's me. I always have something against the curse. Do you wear something against the curse? Do you have some Amalia memorabilia from your grandma maybe with you? Do you wear some necklaces? Huh? Anybody? Something that you can tell a story. Intangible heritage. Anybody? Very strange. I have something always that reminds me about the history, the past, the tradition, and the story of my grandma. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why I love my heritage. And that's why I dedicate my time to a project. Not only me, definitely. I have a team, and this is a great job. So, I have to read, I don't have here the slides, so I will do like this, okay? So, we are all storytellers. We all live in a network of stories. There isn't a stronger connection between people than storytelling. Do you agree? So, what is a storytelling? What it gives to us? Why did we choose a storytelling to tell the stories about legend, myths, tradition, kitchen in Istria? Why? Because the definition said, help people remember and create new memories. Connect people to a place, person, and event. Did you hear the presentation before? Always the same thing, local people, things, history. Attach importance to an experience and bring intellect and emotion together. Help make people to the world, create wonders and make people care. What is Istra in spirit? You know, Istra is a peninsula. It's a twinning region with Vojvodina. Do you know that? So we have similar emotions and also similar stories. So we travel through time, from Romans to today. We are telling to the tourists stories, but not only, remember this, it's important that also local people come and to be a part of this. But what we choose actors, we choose musicians, we choose another thing, how to create this. And we have a lot of actors, professional actors, but they are not normal one. They are very interactive. They speak languages. They can be involved, and they love heritage also. So it's multi-awarded. Why? Because we were innovative. And 10 years, maybe you heard before, do you remember how many performances we had in 10 years? More than 900. Mostly 950 now. Can you imagine who organized all this? Who promote this, who did the marketing, who signed agreement, who paid to the actors, who choose the stories, who helped us, who put the lights, everything. It's a really big organization. But now in 10 years we can say, yes, we are story doing. We are not only storytellers, we are also story doing. So this is a goat. Why? Because goat is symbol of Istria. And when you see this goat, you know that somebody will tell you a story. In spirit means inspiration. We will tell you what is happening in Istria. You see the olive oil, the trees of olive, the sea. The goat is a storyteller. And we have a sea and also inland. So I hope you will come in Istria and be a witness of our stories. What we have, a methodology. We have tours, we have experiences with a lot of people, with an actor. Mostly, we like to have also local people in our performances. And now we start to be kind of factory, storytelling factory. The people come and they want a story for event, for opening a conference, for weddings. And then we produce stories with the performance. What the storyteller should be: a great guide, a clear mind who walk a silver line in a hell of madness. That's me. Do you remember? Do you recognize me? Yeah, but it's not only important to have an idea. It's very important to have a passion. And I have a passion. First for my heritage, then for a people, then for my Istria, then for cultural, intangible, tangible. So everything I have together and put in my work. First year I was working in this, and it was really 1 year just going around and collecting the stories and see who will perform with us. But then I couldn't do alone, of course. I have a great team. And what is important that I always have a students, because I teach practicum in Pula, as you could heard before. So, of 33 students, somebody will also like my story. And now I will introduce to you 2 of my students, Ivana and Nevenka. Please stand up. They started 10 years ago with me, not on 10, Ivana 10, and Nevenka after. And they said, we want to be volunteers. Great, I like volunteers in the beginning. After that, Ivana today is the directress of the tourist board of Kanfanar, and Nevenka is doing my job. She is now the main person in Eastern Spirit, and this is the best. When the students become followers, when students are in charge in all this process, and when they can do what I do. So this is really my aim. So what we have a lot of things. We have marketing, we have costumes, we have register. And I will not tell you how to do it. I will tell you that in all these 10 years, we had a lot of enemies. I can talk about this, but not today. You have a lot of challenges, but we succeed with really our will. So volunteers, students, actors networking, how to do a model. So we choose a quattro helix model. We have to have in spirit political support, which is the region. Then we have to have academic support, university. Then public, private, NGOs, everything together to do how to create this. Today, Istra in Spirit is in Istrian Regional Tourist Agency called IRTA. Remember this. So, let's go on. First stage was B2C, now it's B2B. You paid the tickets before, it was 27 euros for everything. A performance and also a dinner. Dinner following through the time. Or Roman dinner, Austro-Hungaric dinner, a dinner with a fisherman or something like that. Today we have small, maybe smaller actors who are leaders, guides, as you could see, Casanova or things like that. You see this? It's beautiful, and what we are really always proud when all the village come with us and be a part of our performance. Casanova, you can come in Vrsar because Casanova was there. You can visit Vrsar this year. Every week, Casanova is walking through the old streets of Vrsar. But it's not only important to have Casanova. Casanova is telling you through this performance what he ate, what he drank, how the people were dressed that upon a time. So you are not a simple guide through Vrsar, but you have a guide, Casanova. It's always, of course, costume, what we do. Interpret Europe would say this is live interpretation. Yeah. So we can say, not for the conclusion, but we can say that Istra in Spirit is 5D model. You have to feel everything. Senses, emotion, things, interaction, networking, cooperation, language, dialect, everything must be together. But you don't understand when you see, just in the end you said, wow, it was something great. But it's a lot of work before to do, wow, it's a great job. So, you heard before, UNWTO, the World Organization, they said, Istra in Spirit is one of the 100 best stories who connected local people, young people who did a lot of networking, and who is definitely also very grateful for tourism. And that's also, we are proud of this. This is my mission, of course. My mission was to do and to protect and to preserve my heritage through this. This is not the only way, but that was my way. My way. Okay? When you look at this in California, of course, sometimes we have to learn from Americans. Huh? That's a museum. You tell a story about the nature. From nothing. Sometimes you don't have even to build museums. It's just the nature. But we need to tell a story. And what they did, they have great courses for the rangers. And people are very educated. And they are all storytellers in the States. You know that they don't have so much culture as we do. We are all this civilization. And we don't know sometimes how to promote our heritage. Do you agree? And the Americans, they will tell you stories about small rocks. But we can do also. Okay? But what we learn from them? To educate people. We have courses, CIG courses, for the guides, for the writers, for the planners. Everything must be in the interpretation of the heritage. Also, Istra in Spirit and our story about storytelling, it's a part of big interpretation of the heritage. That's Interpret Europe. If you never heard about this, please Google it. Be a member. Try to be in all the webinars, in all our newsletters, in everything what we have, just to understand how you have to plan to do the interpretation. So look at these pictures a little bit. So we have actors, we have volunteers, we have all this what we create. And then we have ruins, we have ruined castles, we have archaeological sites without interpretation. We have something. What was our big chance when the European funds came in Croatia. Culture and tourism, many European funds. And what we said, okay, we did Istra in spirit everywhere, mostly in the cultural sites. Now you need to preserve the buildings, and we will tell the stories again in great castles. That was a ruined castle. That was not even one building in the middle of on the woods. But with our experience, we wrote projects to the structural funds that we need a house for our stories. When you come in Croatia now, and especially in Istra, you will have more than 80 interpretative centers paid by European funds. With everywhere you will feel the story. These are not museums, they are interpretive centers. I hope you visited some of them. It started with Ivana Brlić-Mažuranić house, a fairy tale in small Ogulin, small place in Croatia, and now everybody wants to visit Ogulin. So, but why? We need the stories again. We need multimedia with the stories. We need the guides, costume guides. We need everything, but we also for the young generation now, for the children, we need multimedia and live persons. So that's Cultera. If you're interested in European funds, we reconstruct two great castles in Istria. Today, we have more than 10 new young people working in the castle. That's another project. It's natural interpretative center with dormitory, telling stories about how to protect nature. So if, of course, you want more experience, if you want to come, we can organize visit, studies, and everything. I think it will be very interesting for your future financial time when you will enter the union. But it saved us. It saved a lot of cultural heritage. I will not tell thank you because I still have some minutes to finish. I will tell you that you can download the manual. You can find it in English and in Croatian. It's a manual for participatory tourism, connecting community and culture through storytelling. So everything and all experience we have, it's inside. You see that stickers before and everything. So we really wanted to share our experience, just not to ask how it's methodology, what to do, when I go to the meeting, what I have to do, how I will collect the actors, and everything is it's inside. But what is very important then to have a participatory tourism, or transforming tourism as we call it. Like you need to have a lot of stakeholders. If you don't connect these products or any products with a lot of stakeholders, it would be difficult. I'm very practical. I am teaching at the university, but I am really in all the organization. So it's not just the theory, it's a lot of work. You know, when you see the ice, which is perfect, I know what is under the ground. So let's, yeah, that's it. Okay, I brought another case. So this is small box of tradition pastry from Central Istria, forgotten. It was made just for the weddings. Now the people doesn't want to make a lot of cakes, it's difficult, but that's a story of also my grandma, all my aunts who was doing this when I was small, and all that smell and feeling about this, it makes me so happy, and it makes me proud of my heritage. And then we started to do souvenirs. So everywhere you go with the stories, what we have, we of course, started to think about the souvenirs. Now, I don't have 500 of this, but you will taste a beautiful traditional cookies from Central Istria that we preserve. So what is really always I would like to go back. I hope I can do it. The definition of how to preserve a heritage, it's that we really inherit something, but we need to be careful how to go on with heritage. And if I choose this, you choose another thing, but just think that if you forget about your heritage, what will you give And what will you tell to your children or to your tourists? So that was my main message. Think about heritage. Okay? So, if we say about Istria, I would like to see why and how does storytelling affects the listening brain. Do you know it? It affects. I tell you what a storytelling is doing, but you are not even conscious what a storytelling can do. Stories call for the human desire to take a part and be loved. And then we have a dopamine, and with the oxytocin and everything what produce in the brain. From this side, we start to see why the storytelling is really important. So think about it. Think when you were and when somebody is telling you the stories. How is great, how you remember this. You don't remember anymore about the facts. You remember about the story. Not even today, a visitor is concentrated more than 3 minutes. Remember that. 3 minutes concentration of the facts, it's not useful. But if you tell a story, they will be concentrate. I think you are concentrate too now on my storytelling presentation. Okay? So, I said many times this is a conclusion. I will conclude because I can to tell you a lot about our project, but you are here to ask me, and it would be better if you ask me and I can answer all your questions. Don't ask me how much does it cost, because I would have a lot of hours to tell you how we succeed to get money, founding, national funds, sponsors, things, voluntariat and everything. So I'm here to answer your phones, and thank you very much for your attention.